I'm coming back with another one, and I want to offer this one respectfully. And so where I was going with the other video is that I said I had one of the most beautiful things to me in people is faith and intelligence, and also communication. And communication is a function of faith and intelligence. But you could also maybe say that faith and intelligence are, it's almost like a unique. I've said that some things exist like within triples. Like, so you have, according to the works of Arthur Avalon, you have at least creation, destruction, and maintenance is what is fashioning our experience of reality within environments, but also within human beings. And so that or within beings, and that informs the nature or the inclination of a being, is whether it is it self-interest, is it big-heartedness, or is it like some form of maintaining, and that actually constitutes a lot of sublime things in some of the works of Arthur Avalon, the traditions of the East that he's referring to. And you can see that in the construction of a building, which is that you can't have a building where people live without something had to be destroyed to lay the groundwork, the foundation. It had to be leveled for that destruction. Then it had to be built, that's created, and then it had to be maintained. And if you were to fail in any one of those, that would be completely dangerous. But then also, as the building is existing, you need to continue that, because you need to break down or delete things that are not working with the structure. You need to create and add and build onto to keep the structure, and then you need an underlying maintenance the whole time. And you can almost say that maintenance is actually a form. Maintenance might be a combination of creation and destruction. If you think about maintenance, because people that are maintaining something, they're also deleting things and adding things. So you could almost say that each of those is yet a function and a mode of the other. But then I also think that it might be similar with like faith, communication, and intelligence, in that they really inform one the other, but you somehow need all of those working to have strong outcomes. I think in life, just as developing as a person, and in life, you would need some form of those going for you, I think, to work. But the thing is that faith doesn't have to be according to another person's terms, and that can be unique to you. So some people would say, like, so I said I met, and another word for being attracted to someone's intelligence, that's called sapiosexual. That's the term for that. So when some people have a unique attraction to intelligence, for me it's like that. Like, sometimes I've met a few women who the women that I've really been strongly attracted to. It's strange, like the women I've been attracted to like this, I've had some strong interactions with them, and also uncanny interactions with them, like in terms of timing. One had been a girl that I knew in childhood. I had a crush on a girl in childhood that was it was very powerful, and it somewhat made me better, because and I've said in other videos that if you ever have feelings for a woman, for a female as a male, I think that you're reborn through it, whether you go all the way to having a child, or you just become so heartbroken or inspired that you become a better person, probably both, heartbroken and inspired to some degree. You're rebirthed through your contact and your interest in a beautiful woman or female, I think. And it was for me like that in childhood, which is that in about like in the middle to latter part of the middle of elementary school, I was becoming a little bit troubled, because I was seeking attention. There were some challenges at home, because there was some substance abuse and maybe some ignoring of my development by my family, if I'm being honest. And you had some sibling rivalry, where sometimes you can have something of a like favoritism in a golden child in a family, even as much as a family would not want to maybe concede that or reflect upon that. But for me, I had a younger sibling who was a lot younger than me, and he was the baby, and he got a lot of the attention of the baby. And I didn't set out trying to be jealous of that, because I was having there would be like friends of the family who were doing cooler stuff with me than my parents ever did. Like I said, that there was that man that would take me and his son to do cool stuff outdoors, but there were other people like that where I was actually trying to get away from my family. But part of me trying to get away from them might have actually been the very dynamics of having a baby like that and them being preoccupied with the baby. It somewhat affected the dynamics to make it uncomfortable or a place I didn't want to be as even as a child. So I spent a lot of time practicing basketball. Well, I got to the point of spending a lot of time practicing basketball alone in the park at night, and getting better like that, and actually having a reputation like that as a child, among my peers, and even sometimes my reputation preceded me a few times in different cities I lived at, with females and also with other basketball players. But it's because I was actually trying to get outside of the house because the court had been a safe place for me. I didn't know what the word safe place meant for at that time, but the court was a safe place for me as a child in the Southwest, outdoors. And then when I got to the North and my father was in academia, the actual basketball court at the college campus was yet another safe place for me where I'd spend a lot of hours, countless hours at a basketball court. It was, they called it, it was a court like up high in a building, and it was like I would spend a lot of time there as a boy. But it probably might have not have actually been very healthy to have a child around adults, like college students like that. They didn't give me a hard time like that, but there was something of a little bit of a awkward feeling, like I didn't belong there. I had the privilege to go there because my father worked there, but it did a little bit feel awkward, just a child around adults having adult lifestyles at that time, where I wasn't privy to their lifestyles or things they had going on, but just that they did have lifestyles. It might not have been good for a child to be around there all alone, as I'm being honest. But all I meant to say, that was a safe space. But in elementary, I was I was becoming I was becoming I was looking for attention at a certain point in elementary, and I had some beautiful teachers and also some beautiful classmates, and I was trying to get attention by being naughty. And there was like I think there was like one time where like there was a teacher who like they had like classes for children who were troubled, and he was like coming by, and I thought he was trying to flirt with the teacher, but I think they might have actually been talking about me. But I was looking for attention in all the wrong ways. But then I had there was another family friend, a friend of my father, who was he was a cool guy from Africa. He was a runner, just like that other man, the friend of my the father of my friend who did cool stuff with me. He was a runner, and this other man was a runner. And one time when I was doing cool stuff with my friend's father, who's a runner, we met that other friend of my father's at a place where people go running, and it was cool energy they had. But my father's friend from Kenya, he got me up into football, and that was very difficult at a young age. But it got me some discipline, and it taught me stuff, and I became more interested in basketball. But I also got attention from the girls, because like this girl that I had a crush on, I was trying to get attention from her in previous grades. When we got to like fifth grade, and I'm having like bruises, and like my body's looking beat up, and she was giving me a hard time, but they're like, damn, he got bruises, man. Like sometimes you look a little bit tougher and cooler with stuff like that as a kid, and little kids are very perceptive to attention. So that was my first attention that got me into sports, and it changed my life getting into sports. But it was still being reborn through being interested in this girl. And then later I came across her in some ways that it would boggle the mind, just in terms of the chance of that, and the statistics of meeting in the way that I did. And that actually informed my faith, because it made me think that there is actually some kind of higher reasoning to our experiences, and our chances in life. And sometimes I don't like the word destiny, because that sounds decided for and locked in. But there are the chances that we come across. There's like a deeper reasoning to it that makes you appreciate faith. But then the other women that the women that I was really attracted to as a man, that I had some kind of strong energy with, was that neighbor that I had, and then another person that I worked with one time. And they both exemplified, all those three, but especially the women, they exemplified faith and also intelligence, and they were strong communicators, and so that's called sapiosexual, when you're attracted to a person's intelligence. I just wanted to put that one there.